In Joburg, large areas of the CBD are still without power after yesterday's massive fire involving that underground cable under the M1 highway. The blaze seems to have started when people tried to steal the cable. As you know, the State of the City address by the Mayor been underway there as well. Isaac Mangena is the spokesperson for City Power in Joburg. Isaac, good afternoon to you. You told us yesterday it would be 24 hours to sort of wait for the dust to settle to find out what actually happened. Have you been able to assess the damage from this fire yet?
Good afternoon, Steve, and good afternoon to the viewers at home. Unfortunately, we have not been able to start the work to assess the damage because EMS or emergency services only came this afternoon. In fact, they've been there throughout the day, but the inspector was giving us the report back this afternoon to say it is fairly safe for the technicians to access those tunnels and to start with the work of assessing the extent of the damage and also start to look at how much is needed in terms of the material to replace or repair the damaged infrastructure. And that is the only time when we can be able to do that. So I just came back from the site myself, and the team will basically start going in and start to basically see how they can access those tunnels. However, the inspector also indicated that there is still a level of testing of the toxins and other gases that are inside that tunnel. Remember, if there was fire, you might find that there are dangerous gases under there that we need to make sure that they are cleared. But the area is fairly ventilated, and they think we can be able to do that way. But we don't want to take charge.
And at this stage, we're battling to hear you a little bit, Isaac, but does it still look as if someone was trying to steal the cable? Is that what caused this, criminals?
Yeah, from the investigations that we have done as City Power, it looks like the fire was started by people that was trying to steal the cables. It seems like it actually started around Car Street, underground there, under the bridge there. Under the bridge, it's really a very problematic space to be in. I was there myself this morning, and it's an area where you find the recyclers are basically staying there. They've actually made makeshift shacks with cardboards. And it seems like some of the people that are staying there are the ones who basically try to access our cables through the access point, which is around that Car Street. And they managed to basically get up and they set the cable aligned so that it can trip. And then they can be able to start working without the risk of being electrocuted. But also disturbingly is that last night, so after the fire was put out last night by EMS, our security were patrolling the very same area where we suspect that the vandalism and theft was started, and there was a shootout between our security and the residents of that area. This is just last night. They were stealing the cable that was actually burning during the fire. So after it was put out, they were trying to basically access it because now it's no longer, it's a cable that it's a copper that is no longer insulated, and so they cut it and put it in those bags that they normally use to go to recycle. And we managed to basically, unfortunately, no one was injured, but we managed to basically retrieve about 600 kg of copper, the cables that were basically cutting from the site of the fire, and we reported this matter to the police. Fortunately, no one was injured from our side. We're not sure if the police managed to capture any of those guys.
It's amazing that people were doing this. I mean, 600 kilograms is a huge amount of copper. Were the police involved in the investigations or guarding this infrastructure at all, or did you have to do most of it yourself?
Look, the police were not there, and that is the worrying part on our side. I think everyone from yesterday morning knew that the site above double-decker highway was essentially a crime scene. It was where there was an incident that happened. It was where the fire basically gutted most of the bridge where the cables were running. And it was where we basically claimed that the cable was cut and stolen, but the police were not there yesterday. And even during the shootout, the police were not there. And this morning, when we were on site, the police were not on site. And this is really worrying. And that's why this afternoon, our CEO is sending a letter to the National Police Commissioner and the Provincial Commissioner to basically plead with them, because ours is a competency of making sure that the lights are on. But we find ourselves basically spending more money, budgeting more money for security to protect this infrastructure, instead of basically buying material and investing in maintenance and equipment to ensure that we keep the lights on. So it cannot go on like this. And we believe that the police really should step in and be able to protect this kind of infrastructure, but they also be able to investigate when things like attempted or cable theft has happened, be able to investigate and prosecute the criminals, so that at least it serves as a deterrent to the would-be criminals of the future.
Isaac Mangena, thank you. Spokesperson for City Power in Joburg. Do appreciate the time.